We're also having short courses of customer care and and soft skills training. So we're trying to cover this up by training, these people who are in the field to make them better people when it comes to imparting this knowledge. So the other thing we're also doing is that we're also trying to encourage the student operator partnerships. So how are we doing these student operator partnerships? We are doing this in a way that we're trying to encourage a collaborative, or a partnership between the students that we're training and the people who are in the field. Like for instance, we are now trying to embed our curriculums. We're trying to include, a lot of digitalization in our curriculums. We're trying to teach more when it comes to the AI tools. So we are imparting this kind of techniques to our students. Now, when they go out to the field, they then teach the people who are already in the field on these new kind of apps, on these new kind of marketing tools which are available. So now, in that way, they are also learning from the people who are already in the field. They're also picking that product knowledge from them. So there will be like that collaborative kind of effect. So they learn from each other. So we encourage that when it comes to the digital spaces. So the other one is that we are also trying to encourage the compliancy drives. So how are we doing the compliancy drives? We're trying to partner with, of course, the government institutions like UTB or UA, to see to it that the communities we are addressing these issues collaboratively. So that is how we're trying to cover up these gaps. And if with, of course, with practical guiding and with imparting knowledge in terms of communication skills and all those things. If we do all those things as a community, we are going to see to it that our West Nile region becomes booming in terms of tourism. Yes. Thank you so much.
I will come back to you. I will be coming back to you. I want to give a chance to each and every panelist to talk, but members, take note of what has been mentioned here. There will be a chance for plenary discussion. And also I want to let you know that she talked about UTB and other government institutions. Be aware that we shall have UTB here, Uganda Tourism Board. In the second panel, we shall have Uganda Wildlife Authority. We're going to have Uganda Development Bank here. We shall have petroleum. When we discuss, because some of the issues raised here may require them to take mention. So thank you very much, Melda. I am next going to my friend David. You rightly mentioned that you are a son of the soil. You went to the school. You went to the great St. Joseph College, Umbachi. I went to Lao College and also used to hear those great schools. But we know that West Nile is very unique in terms of challenges. The mayor here highlighted, but we cannot talk about challenges together throughout. We talk about the creative ways. How can we innovatively see that we prosper the private sector? Because we are not going to cry that West Nile is challenging. Yes, government is trying its best. What are those most creative ways that we can deploy to see that businesses prosper, to see that maybe we do public-private partnership, to ensure that we have the right financing which is necessary, and we have businesses, because all these people seated, you never know, you may motivate 20 of them and tomorrow they say, okay, if he can, then we also can. Please walk us through briefly in about 2-3 minutes, and then I'll come for second round.
Thank you again. West Nile is one of the most resilient regions. You have heard, we have been back and forth between Uganda, Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, and back to Uganda. Even when our roads were completely cut off, it never stopped enterprise here. We found ways, whether it means passing through the lake through one cycle, whether passing through the convoy, or getting things the reverse way from Congo. So the challenges for us have even been actually, the distance even has been an advantage. We look at every challenge as an opportunity, and we creatively find ways of staying established. For the hospitality sector, for example, you can imagine how long it takes to get here. Okay. And we appreciate, just like the mayor earlier, that West Nile was chosen to host this. One of the main things it has done is mindset change. Because most of the people think West Nile is inaccessible. Maybe even there are no people there. Maybe they are still naked or they are in an arid place. So we like really you carry the message that this is a very vibrant place, full of opportunity, very smart people, very enthusiastic people. About how we get around things. Of course, one of the biggest challenges has been that the biggest challenge used to be power. It's very big advocacy. It is now the distribution of it, and then the reliability that we need to deal with. The access, the road, of course, got so damaged. I know it is being already worked on, so we don't want to take it as SNS. For a very long time, we creatively even moved by air. Okay? And we know government is working on having our airfield functional. I know the conversations are ongoing to extend the runway. We have also had good news that eventually Uganda Airlines will start regional in-country flights, which are domestic flights. Because most tourists are not willing to do 8, 9, 10 hours road. So many of these things are getting sorted. But we need to still remain very resilient. We need to partner, we need to work together. But the major challenge is here actually. We worked with JSA one time and we documented in all the 6 days of tourism. Accommodation, we are fixing it, as you can see. Okay? Awareness. The awareness. And they showed, actually, they demonstrated that there is no content on West Nile, whether digital, whether text, in which we need to work together. And then also there's been a major issue of course, the human resources have talked about it. But we went ahead and created even a local tourist association. We supported the creation of small tour operators, and we have been enabling them. Okay? Even now, they are taking advantage of your offer for the parks to be accessible for free. Tomorrow, they are taking a number of people to the park. I think even today. Okay? Because the park is just a stone throw away from here. So we have been very resilient, trying to, and we really appreciate one of the major challenges we have had is people reducing tourism to the big five. And we didn't have one major one. We know you are putting back a giant game reserve. Okay. Unfortunately, our initial tourist hotel is defunct, the White Rhino. Has been defunct for a very long time, but it's been privatized. But options are coming. Of course, the route from here to Ajah is almost impossible. At least the last time I tried to pass. Otherwise, the tourists can have both a nightlife in the city, and then they go and do game prices. So we need to work on all that. Many of the major enablers really need some form of government intervention. The rest we can always find a way among ourselves. I think what is so important is for us to strengthen our collaboration, our association, okay, for a single voice, for peer-to-peer support, okay, exchange of support, visit. We need to strengthen that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's interesting to know that you're even supporting the local people building capacity, and see that we have the two operators. I'll pass the mic to my good town clerk. So, on a town clerk, you sit in a government office, and the model now is, first of all, to turn cities into tourist attraction. Arua city is the face of West Nile. When they come to Arua city, I have arrived in the actually heart of West Nile. So you have a task first to make the city very attractive. But you also know that you deal with communities. I've had the drivers, as somebody who is representing the drivers. We have the small scale traders. Time and again, sometimes it brings conflict. You want to have a very clean city, very organized city, but we say, no, we want to push away these small traders, we want to organize bus park, we don't want petty traders around. But on the other hand, we are saying we want to attract tourists, we want to make our city very clean so that we put it aside. And the politicians, we're entering also a very busy time. These people you are trying to push aside, these are the voters, you sit in a very fragile position. And as a civil servant, need to balance. What plan do we have to make Arua vibrant and a nice city for tourism? And how do you mitigate all these interests? There are so many other interests that you need to manage. Please talk to us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. First of all, I want to thank the Ministry of Tourism. May I alluded to it. Why are we here today is because we decided as a city to profile the entire West Nile. From Pakwachi, when you enter, I'm sure many of you generally you saw Nanga, the fish. Very beautiful fish. You can even eat it minus. That is what Pakwachi, as you are coming in. So we profiled our entry level with what we offer from Pakwachi to Ajumani. And each district here has unique cultural heritage sites to which people need to know. So I want to tell you, delegates, when we profiled the entire West Nile, I just want to begin it that way. The minister was very excited. Oh, these things are existing? To a tree called Salam Sala in Koboko. It's quite a distance, 50, 40 kilometers from here. But when you reach there, the story is of a tree having 3 branches, one facing DRC, Southern Sudan, and West Nile. It's beautiful, Uganda. So, to us, the entry level was, this is the first time West Nile is getting this big day. So, we have preached, and I want to thank all our local organizations here. Instead of it being a problem, I'm seeing West Nile team with all their good welcoming skills appreciating this day. We have the Boda Boda. Do you have the Boda Boda chairperson here? I hope he's here. He called me and said, Tom Clark, we're organizing ourselves to take tourists across the city. I think I like that. That is the readiness. We have hotel industry, hotel association. I saw the chairman. Can you stand up for recognition? That man, anyone who comes in here in West Nile and Arua, Pretoria City, is there to take you around. We have profiled our city with 2,000 bedrooms, almost, from 20,000 to 500,000. We have profiled the transport. I saw the chairman of our transport system. So stand up for recognition. That's the transport chairman. To ferry people across the city and West Nile. Yes, we have some challenges. Are we going to focus on them? Yes or no? Do we have critics? Indeed we do. But I have also appreciated that all MPs, yesterday we had the number of MPs coming. We left office by 10. Talk about what do we do? How do we support? What do we do? Where are we going to get in? So I think I'm seeing much more support to support local tourism than resistance. I'm seeing everybody getting excited. The chairman of the chamber, sir, can you start up party? Right away from the beginning, he's been part of that. The whole business chambers of commerce, can you stand up members of business community Arua who are in this hall? Look at these great men and women. They are all part and parcel of how do we push Arua and sell it in the right way. You can see it, sir. So what am I saying here? Yes, there are challenges, but we do not want to focus on challenges. This is the time for West Nile to shine. We are saying we have a lot to offer. Actually, my colleague is right. When you are from the other side of Kampala, where are you going? But when you reach here, people don't want to go back. I have come across many, and you know, the city is cosmopolitan. Everybody is here. When are you going back? Going away? We have 300 Uganda here. When I interact with them, we can't go back. So, from getting scared entering and feeling very uncomfortable going and leaving, there's something unique West Nile is giving the world, and I think with all our cultural leaders here, it is an amazing day for me. There is a lot we can do under tourism for the city. After all, tourism is not about animals, the big five. Tourism about stories. What is the, I've seen different tribes here, cultural leaders. What are the stories we are telling the world? The migrations. How did we come into being? What are our strengths? I think what we need to do, moderator, is to profile tourism and mainstream it from the lowest person to the highest, to appreciate and gain tourism. I'm sure Westerners, if they grasp this, these are very resilient people. They return in this city into a jail. Already, we are seeing a lot of traffic coming in. So what we need to do is to create the infrastructure, create the tour guide. Yesterday I was just sharing with the business community. We need the cars which chauffeur people from the airport, We need to start bringing that. That is a business opportunity. And make Arua a hub of industry. After all, we are the stop opportunity. So the political season is here. The politicians want to, I think they must support it. I'm sure all political leaders want to make sure the city is vibrant. There is a challenge of course, of organizing a city, but I've also seen when we say we are cleaning, people come with the brooms. The whole of yesterday, there was an entire cleaning. It was free, volunteers are coming in. I think for us, what we need to do, how do we make people appreciate this? How do we sensitize communities to be part of the ecosystem of tourism? And when everybody joins in, sir, the city will bubble. After all, we are ready to make sure Arua city shines, and therefore West Nile shines in tourism. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I'm very excited to hear that there was cleaning of the city yesterday. Let's start for the town. I want to thank the minister so much. The Honourable Minister has mobilized a sizable number of government agencies, because when the mayor says we have about 12,000 rooms, UTP should take interest. Uganda Tourism Board, they have 2,000 rooms. You should see that the quality is good. Board does, and later on when you come here, you know, you need to pick and see that we support the town, we support the city in providing the tourism products, and so that it will be vibrant. Afande Keith, give us the confidence. The two gentlemen who talked there said yes. When somebody talks from far, they think that the Arua is very challenging, which is not the story, but it doesn't stop in Uganda. Even the international guests, when you say that you're bordering Congo, you're bordering Sudan, it's fairly a fragile area, and people think it's very insecure. We have enjoyed the place and it's good. So from a security point of view, what support, or how do we collaborate at the tourism, government agency, the municipal leadership, and the security organ to ensure that there's a safe zone, there's a place that you bring a name. When we talk about Arua, people don't think of Sudan, people don't think of Congo, but we should have a model that is safe. Arua is very safe. We all do and collaborate like this. This is what we are going to bring, and we give confidence to our tourism.
Thank you, moderator. In the interest of time, I will not define term security and safety, but unless I will draw the boundaries where my discussion would stop, because when I was still in school, my professor would tell me words have meaning. So security is very wide, and we're talking of personal security, physical security, economic security, food security, but also health. So I will limit myself in discussing Arua, or this West Nile related to the northern region, to within the historical perspective, and but also move out from the traditional thinking of security to innovative ones. To start with, moderator, is that Uganda's virgin flora and fauna falls in what the common man calls hard-to-reach areas. Personally, from my profession, there is nothing like hard-to-reach areas, whether it is on top of Mount Rwenzori or in the middle of an island in Lake Victoria. There is nothing like hard-to-reach security. But our virgin flora and fauna, which saves us naturally, unfortunately we put in so little, but just God gave us what saves us, falls in hard-to-reach areas. Important. Secondly, we are cognizant of our history. We cannot change it. West Nile, Arua, which is in West Nile, and northern part of Uganda, suffered from long periods of insecurity. We're a country where we know that from 1962 to 86, we had 8 military coups, 8 governments, one changing another. So when some people pass speculating we don't change it, you remind them that we have ever changed 8 presidents in 24 years. Cognizant of that, another bigger perspective is that you cannot secure Arua from Arua in terms of security. If you're securing Arua, then you must secure it at least from that side of Amur, that side of so. We are securing Uganda by not only deploying on our borders, but also moving across to help our communities. Your forces are in Somalia, your forces are in South Sudan, your forces are in DRC Congo, and I believe that's how you can say Kampala is secure, because we have a footprint in Masaka, in Jinja, and in Ruwero. So as we help colleagues outside our borders, we are securing our country. Having said that, stability, security and stability are preconditions for tourism to flourish or thrive. Now, in those hard-to-reach areas, a tourist does not want to see physical info, does not want to see your members and tanks in the park. I don't want to see that. I need an environment. I've put in my money from the region. I need that aura, that environment of peace and security. So how do we, as security players, synchronize with the industrial workers, with the minister, make sure that security is playing a pivotal role in determining a country's attractiveness to tourists. And tourists choose these decisions with, they Google, what is the crime rate? When was the last time they had a terrorism incident? How is the political instability? What are the health risks? We know that Ebola normally from Sudan or Congo hemorrhagic fever normally affects this region. So to me, the mitigation factors should be security players, not only UPDF, police, border security, customs people, immigration, coming together with the tourism professionals to think jointly. Later, I will talk about how we are so disconnected, Honorable Minister. We are so disconnected and we waste government resources in duplication. When you visit areas, for example, from the perspective of Minister of Defense, we find the President has ordered us to put security roles. But as we put security roles in Kidepo Valley, wherever we are handling our brothers from Karamoja or South Sudan or whatever, you find that these security roles can again serve the minister as access roles in the past. But because we are still locked in linear thinking, one line of your profession, that disconnect, where later we are lacking the synchronization. So to mitigate risks, I think we have grown up enough. We have overcome challenges. Western and Northern Uganda don't have big issues, but at coordination level, we need what we call coordinated government effort to satisfy our tourists and bring the image of their destinations and economic growth of our country together in a synchronized manner. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's clap for him. I think that was a brilliant response. So I'll again pass another round of questions before I open up to the audience. I'm back to you, Imelda. You talked about capacity building. You talked about the creative courses that you are bringing. You're bringing short courses so that you build capacity of the different tour operators in the region. But there's a community-led approach to contribute to sustainable tourism. Now, our theme today, and actually the global theme that we are celebrating this year, is sustainable tourism. We cannot be teaching tourism in university only to students while we leave the community aside. That will not be sustainable. You need to come to the community. You need to bring everybody on board. For us, we say tourism is everybody's job, from the driver to everyone, to the topmost person, to the president. We should talk about the beauty of Uganda. So for us to be sustainable, we need to involve the local people. We need to involve communities in planning for tourism, in implementing the tourism plan, and see that we handle resources that we have sustainably. To what extent are you involving everyone in the area, communities, the tour operators, beyond the students, beyond universities?
Yes, thank you so much, moderator, for that. And maybe just before that, I would also like to agree with the team here that Arua, once you come to Arua, you don't feel like going away. You know, I've just been here for this is my 3rd month to here, but I feel like wow, you know, because when I got this appointment, I was like, oh my God, Arua is so far. Am I going to even handle? You know, but then now when I'm here, I feel like wow, you know. It's an amazing place to be. So I really agree with you on that. Yes. Now back to our question on the community engagement. We find that all our attractions are within the communities. You know, be it the parks or the reservations or the culture, they are all within communities. So communities are a very big stakeholder when it comes to tourism implementation, and they should be engaged at every process of any decision making. You know, like for example, we need to have participative planning. A lot of people need to be involved just even before any policy is brought into place, before the implementation. So we need to ensure that we are involving them at the start of everything that you want to put in place. So this will make them feel and own, you know, the attraction within their area, to give them the confidence, to give them the love. So we need to engage them fully. And a lot of times our curriculums try to show our students how they can be involved, and they also try to teach them their rights, you know, when it comes to their attractions. So we need to have that that participatory planning in a way that establishes, in a way that is inclusive for every stakeholder, you know, and this and need to include like from the youth. They need to be represented, the elderly, the women, they all need to feel that they are part of this attraction. Because at the end of the day, these attractions belong to them. They are within their communities. It is their culture. It is their stories. So we need to involve them as various stakeholders. The second way is we need to also encourage community tourism committees. And these committees need to start from the village level. Okay, let's have people representing us from the village level, to the parish level, to the sub-county level, such that they also sit in these meetings with government officials. This is going to make them feel the ownership. It's going to make them feel, you know, the love for their attractions and the love for their heritages. So by doing this, you're going to be ensuring that there is active community participation from all the stakeholders. So the other way is to build capacity and ownership. So how can we do this? We need to encourage, like when it comes to private sectors doing the training of these local people. Let's not only stop at training them, but let's teach them. Let's go further by showing them run the business. So, for example, if it's a tour company, if someone maybe has a small tour company somewhere, we should be able to go beyond just training them. But you should be able to show them, okay, how do you license, how do you register to a company? So by doing this, you're giving them capacity building beyond just, training them or teaching them. And this can be a collaborative effort from every stakeholder, the private sector, the governments, and all those things. So by doing that, we're going to be ensuring that we have active participation of the communities. And then finally, also need to look at the joint ventures and the income sharing or benefit sharing. So yes, we have policies that are talking about sharing, benefit sharing and all the things. But actually happen, let the community feel like they are also benefiting out of these attractions within which they are within their areas. So let us ensure that the benefit sharing is actually happening to the final person at the lowest level of community. So when we do that, we are going to see the community engaging more, the community collaborating more with the government, and hence leading these attractions to go into further sustainability in all aspects. So maybe the part B of that was about how can the community then approaches contribute to sustainability. So when we are involved in the community in all aspects, in these decision-making processes, it's going to lead to strong conservation. So the moment that they feel that they have been included in all aspects, decision-making, they're listening to them, it's going to help them to build stronger conservation within their area. They'll feel part of the attraction, they'll feel part of this, and therefore there'll be less conflicts, there'll be less, maybe say human wildlife conflicts happening around, because they feel that the stakeholders are listening to them and hence making them important, to understand their attractions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, members. Let's appreciate Imelda for those very good words. I'm sure we are keen in listening. She brought very good points about community tourism. It is very good. And I think we can tie it. Somebody talked about the Paris Development Model in another that government is developing enterprises. How do we calm down as tourism planners to see that tourism, the point of entries are PDA. Let's take advantage of all that. And she said community should be involved in everything we are planning. When we plan resources and we don't put community nearby, then it's not sustainable. I'm coming to you, Dr. Opigo. From your very words, you said tourism is beyond the big five. And also, the town clerk said tourism is beyond wildlife. I'm coming back to you now on that. Now, when we are talking about tourism to go beyond wildlife, we need private sector to come with new products. We shouldn't be thinking of parks, lakes and everything. If you go to other places, I've seen the leaders here. When you go to other places, the cultural sites are big tourist attractions. We know that in Uganda, when you go to other countries. When you go to China, you visit what they call the Forbidden Village, the Forbidden City, where the king used to stay with 2,000 concubines. And many people go and visit such places. So how do we develop all this, the cultural tourism, ecotourism, historical sites? When you talk about West Nile, you were telling us there was one time in Congo, it went to Sudan. So these are very, very interesting tourism products. What role can private sector, or how can private sector be engaged to do such?
Okay, thank you very much. First, the most visited country or city in the world is Paris. Okay, why do people go there? They go to see a 500-year-old cathedral, which recently burned, and see how much money they're putting to build it back. They just go to see a tower, like an MTN tower. With a lot of stories, everybody wants to take a picture next to it. Okay, they go to have fashion. We have kitenge here. They go for fine cuisine. We're going to tell you about Inyasa. Okay. And then for us, it's not selene, it's actually grasshoppers, chapter. Okay. Very interesting, so they go for cuisine. Okay. Why do people go to Rome? Religious tourism. They want to go and see. They want to go and see the Vatican. They want to go and see historical things like the Colosseum. We watched those days when the Roman time, they would make, for entertainment, people fight with lions. That big building is still there. Why do people go to Dubai? Is there a big fight there? They go and climb a long building in a desert. Okay? Why do people go to the coast? Is there a big fight there? No, they go to the water. Now, West Nile, we have the longest motorable section of the Nile, 210 kilometers from the delta to Nimule. Motorable, no falls, no rocks. Okay? Yes, did we know this? Okay? This could form the longest cruise. Actually, 5 years ago, I went to UT to discuss it. They even told me this will be developed as a product from Semliki through Albert. This one to be the longest cruise, and with all facilities along the way. You have seen those sea liners in Europe which go for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Right now, the longest cruise we have is the one on Kazinga Channel, 43 kilometers. This is 5 times. Very scenic and with a lot of, that's not wildlife. You start, you pass under Papua's Bridge. Okay? Scenic, isn't it? You would have enjoyed season. You would have enjoyed Matsuso. You come to wildlife. There's Emil Pasa Fort there. The history of the Nubians, started here. Okay? Nubians were given to Captain Lugard from there. Okay? Isn't it? A whole book has been written on this. The slave trade abolition enforcement was here. You go up to where Emil Pasa started. You are from Kampala, you are seeing the Emil Pasa Hotel, okay? The history is here. So, and I can go on the colonial enterprise of cotton.
If you cannot clap for him at this point, I think I should
a whole street, okay, in UK is named on West Nile because it was developed by cotton from this side. Okay, the relics are all remaining there. You go to Laropi, where my honorable comes from, you will find the railway tracks at the landing and the pulleys which pulled it out. Okay. When we grew up, for us we thought Islam is Nubi. Okay. We called a Muslim a Nubi because we are the ones who created it from here, and we went to establish Uganda. By the way, Uganda started from here. When the whites were looking for the source of the Nile, they approached it from 2 directions. One is from east, coming to look for it. The others came from the end, from the delta, down. And the first fort where Uganda was established, 1876, was established in Dufle. Fort Dufle. It's there. Not yet discovered. We have been following up with the ministry to do not only a story, but even archaeological work and establish a museum. So the options, but let me get back to the question. The question is, how can community benefit? Or how can communities own this? I need our people to go to Fort Portal. Those ones have understood the benefit of tourism. And all of them, they see any visitor, they are already nice to them.
They can spoil you.
They are nice to them, they are smiling. They know it's brought money.
They are spoiling us.
For these people who have lived here, the hotel here, the transport people, even the tour guides, even the farmer. If you think travel is not the one driving the economy, remember COVID when they stopped us. What happened to our eggs?